Okay, folks, this is an interesting one. Very popular among school kids, I do believe. Let's see how we go with it. Okay, let's see what this is. It is by a company called Smash, or a brand. It's called Smash. I think it's a soft lunchbox, and we're interested in this damaged bit here. So this is a soft, what I think is a soft lunchbox, what kids carry when they go to school and have their lunch. And Smash is a popular brand. It's amazing how I can see these things, these trendy things happening in schools, even though I'm not actually there. I'm not a parent with a child. I don't have a child who's going to school because I'm not a parent. I never will incidentally, I never will experience motherhood. I am pretty well, I do believe I'm going through menopause, and basically I'm hoping to get in touch with a loved one, but I'm too old to have children. I'm going through menopause. I'm 48 years old, but I never wanted children. Since I was a 10-year-old, I always wanted to get married but not have kids. So I'm just not interested in having children. Never have been. Never will be, obviously. Now, this looks shit house. I don't know if this is any good. I wonder if we could do the top of it. The top of it looks interesting. It's got that little bar thing there though. So I'm just wondering if maybe that, did we do that part? I think we did, that part there. So maybe this looks a lot better from this angle. But basically, I never wanted children since I was a 10-year-old. I'd already made up my mind that I was going to get married and have a career, even though my career is not a career. I work in a sheltered workshop because I'm disabled, and I have been diagnosed with a certain disability, but it wasn't always around when I was a kid. I do believe in addition, I have brain damage I had at birth. I had a cord around my neck and I came out feet first. And that caused, I do believe my hippocampus and my short-term memory have been severely damaged. And I also believe I have Asperger's syndrome, which explains my extreme focus on this sort of thing that I'm doing, this photocopier stuff. So we're just going to tilt it like that. So, it's like I wasn't diagnosed with the brain damage or the Asperger's, but they didn't have a diagnosis for Asperger's back in the 70s or the 80s, only the mid to early 90s that it came to light. But basically, I do believe I have those, but I haven't been formally diagnosed, which I need a diagnosis for those later. I've got a diagnosis with something else, and that is why I have the disability support pension, but it's something I don't like to talk about. It's too shameful. It's one of those disabilities that has a stigma attached, and that stigma is really something I really am ashamed of. But I know it's a medical condition, and it basically, I just can't talk about it. It's too embarrassing. But I'm trying to utilise the smart parts of my brain when I do this photocopier stuff. This photocopier stuff is the part that gives me a sense of dignity. I feel like it's like flying in some ways, being able to use a photocopier in a creative manner like I do. But it's costing me lots of money and time, and I need to get in touch with a loved one. His name's Luigi, and I really miss him. And I have to get this stuff to go on television because I can't afford much longer. I'm paying off a bank loan on this photocopier. This is my primary tool of trade, and I need to have it, but it's costing me lots of money, and I really can't afford it much longer, so I need the TV channels to show me some clemency and play my material on free-to-air primetime news. So I'm going to just move. Just trying to see how I'm going to move this. So I'm trying to get this stuff out there on the news, and it's just not an easy thing to try and sell. But I'm not selling it for money to the TV channels. They don't have to pay a cent. They just have to play it. I just want this on the primetime news. That's all I'm asking. I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for royalties. There is no strings attached except to play it, except to put this stuff up on the air where it belongs, because it does. It needs to be aired. It needs to go to air, because I'll never get in touch with this person, and I'll have to live a miserable life as a person with a disability and no future. So I'm not going to I don't want that. I want to get married. I want to have a life with Luigi, and he misses me. It's not just me, it's him also. I do sense that he's lonely as well, and he needs to find me. So I need to get together, because together, we're a team. Just because I'm disabled doesn't mean I'm not worth something to someone. I know Luigi still loves me, even though I did stupid things when I was young. But now I have to fucking try and get my stuff out there. It's not as easy as it looks, as I've said so many times. It's a real difficult gig to push. I don't know if this is any good. Not all my demos, incidentally, turn out looking good. They look trash occasionally, but you can't always have control over the medium totally. And and showing these videos shows how photocopier art is not always easy. It's often difficult, and you don't always get the results that you would desire. So it's really like that. It's a talent, and yes, that's something. Now that looks really quite nice. I think now we can call this demo quits.